Hey, you guys, MHNbysheterram here, Goddess Intuition. So I wanted to come on here and do a video in regards of signature and why it's really important that you should harness your own energy, pull on your own energy, and preserve it too, from individuals, energy vampires, different people, just every day. You know what I'm saying? When you go out to the grocery store, when you are interacting with people at your job, whatever. Okay. And so, I've been receiving a lot of downloads, I say the least. This full moon in Aries that we just had was like eye opener. Um, I'd say the least. The energies are very, very, very strong. I know I'm feeling some energies, more so, how can I say? Last year I was in a different space. And so this year it's like I can compare and contrast and actually see the difference. You know what I'm saying? And it's like when you are able to compare and contrast your where you were before and where you are now, everything comes up. It's like the lessons, the situation, maybe the person, or your own patterns, right? And it's like you have an opportunity to, especially around this time, take into consideration the lessons, learn as you go, and allow that wheel to keep on spinning, you know. And I believe with this full moon in Aries, it really, highlighted that, not just for me, but for other people, and I know we're getting ready to go into a Scorpio season. And so it's like, deep waters and dealing with the emotions, subconscious. Um, but right now, it's really about hermit mode and, going in and really seeing if you've done your work, really seeing that what you want to start next or what you want to do as far as, career and even legacy. What else? It could be you starting to take more care of a better care of your diet, eating healthier. It could be a change of clothes, a wardrobe, or anything. It could be a new haircut. You know what I'm saying? It could be something new like that. Um, and I won't necessarily say that you have to make any heavy action right now because, again, these energies are very high, and making an action during deep waters is not healthy. It depends on where you are as far as your spiritual nature. How often are you doing your spiritual baths or your rituals and your spells and your practices and things of that nature, right? And so it's like um, self check ins, where are you right now? And again, if you are in deep waters, whether it's emotions or you just clearing up some things, right now is not the right time to, make decisions, especially life changing decisions, And so, what I wanted to get into in this video is, excuse me, signature, and how important it is for us to take the time that we need, take the space, take the detox, if you will, um, to move towards putting ourselves in a position, on a path, on a journey, into what we want to see in the future, and Personally, I don't believe that anyone can move forward without taking those proper steps. Doing the self reevaluation, doing the change of mindset, right? And it's like we could say all day that we want something or we want to do something different, but how is your mindset? Where is your mindset? How do you react to certain situations? How do you take action towards certain situations? Um, and again, if you're not in a clear headspace, it will be hard for you to even make movement, towards something that is regarding life change or sorry for the noise. My cat Garfield, he's scratching in my chair. But it's really difficult to make life altering decisions when you are in a space that requires you to just sit still and be in hermit mode, even if you need to, take a time to rest, take a spa day, and so you want to be able to, go deep willingly with intentions, right? And so again, signature and the things that our ancestors have left for us to recognize and to identify with. It's like what do you remember? What resonates with you? How do you feel about certain situations? How do you see yourself in the future? And what does that look like for you? And the times that we're coming into, you guys, it's like if you're not being authentic, whether you're seen as, you know, some people like to say good, bad, you may be acting out in a certain way. However it seems for you, it's like you have to really be able to identify with the things that resonates with you. And the worst thing to me is to not have a sense of self, a sense of clarity, right? Which we've all been there before. You know what I'm saying? We've all been in a space where we didn't know if we was going right or left. We were just there. But it's like the center, your signature, who you are, the things that you love, what makes you feel happy, what makes you feel home within yourself. That doesn't require any external opinions or influence, right? And it's like you have to be able to tap into that first. Go down there to the abyss of your soul and dig up what needs to be dug up and pull it up from the root, face it, deal with it, of course, through processing, through even grieving. You know what? I believe we go through a grieving stage when we make a trans, what am I trying to say? A trans, not mutation, a transition, right? That's what I'm trying to say. Um, and it could be difficult letting go certain things, right? It could be very, very, difficult because it's like when we go through a death stage, we literally, we're going through a grieving stage afterwards because it's like we're so used to doing things a certain type of way, and we're so used to operating in a space where was comfortable for us, right? And when we just go into, or when the paradigms are shifting and everything is like falling before your eyes, it's like, uh-oh. So yeah, you go through that stage of like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing, and then you go backwards like, okay, I don't know if I want to do this, I don't know if I want to do that. um And so it's like you just being this stuck, stage, it seems like. But things are constantly moving, energy is constantly flowing, and I believe your signature and who you are allows you, your higher self, along with your spiritual team, allows you to just step into that because it's your truth. Step into that because it's something that you're willingly ready to do. You know what I'm saying? It's different when we are trying to hold on to different things of the past and hold on to our um different fragments of ourselves. But when we really get a chance to say, you know what, I want to step into something new, and that requires you being willingly allowing yourself to let things go, including again your own way of thinking, your own patterns, you know what I'm saying? And it can be very difficult, I say the least, you know, especially if you are on a new journey, if you're on a new path, if you're leaving, again, transitioning from one space to the next, but I believe when you really step into that, you're not going to feel guilty. You're not going to feel like you have to apologize for being who you are. You're going to gradually go into that space and constantly go in that space where you're able to be free within who you are. And yes, it's a process. We're all changing. We're all coming into ourselves. I don't want to say like coming into ourselves, but it's like discovering. We're all discovering, different elements of ourselves, different, I don't want to say fragments because fragments seems just, you know, um, like it's fragments and it's just left in different spaces, which it is, but we're actually evolving into what we've seen, in a dream as a child, or um what we've created, even in our imaginations, and it's something to really um think about, and to, you know it's something to really, you should be proud of yourself if you've, gone through this stage, and um if you have, taken those steps to say, hey, you know what, I need to, my life depends on this, me stepping into who I am, and you know harnessing that energy, you know and this is another reason why I strongly feel everyone is uniquely made, right? And so I don't understand why people push for other people to be something that they're not, or push their own beliefs on other people, because everyone is different. I say all the time, there's no one else I'd rather be than to be who I am, because there's no other signature like mine, and that's why we are here to experience and to learn from one another, and to take into consideration that we're here in physical form. But yes, there are many different layers and elements to who we are as people, as stars, as individuals, as a part of the universe. However you want to see it, however you want to, identify with it, right? And it's important that you don't you don't be ashamed of that. We're coming into a time where it's already here, where um people are standing up, people are speaking out, and people are being who they are, and they are doing it, and they are changing other people's lives, including their own, because they said, you know what, I'm going to take my power back. I'm not going to listen to what an outsider has to say when they don't even have their own mind together. I'm not going to listen to what other people has to say. I'm going to just step into what I need to step into. Um, uh, Learn about different things, read books, learn about different spiritual practices that can actually help me and benefit me for whatever it is that I'm trying to manifest, or whatever it is that I'm trying to um, leave behind for my children, or my legacy, whatever that looks like for you. So, and I believe spirit allows us to trial and error. I know that personally because I don't believe in failure. I believe in um trial and error. Try again. There's always a different approach you can take. There's always something new you can learn. Things are constantly changing, right? And so it's like nothing is the same. So you have to look forward. Even from yesterday, you're not the same person as you was yesterday, the day before yesterday. You're getting a chance to experience that on so many different levels of who you are. You know, you can remember yourself through a song or through a story that you've heard, a movie that you've seen, and it seems like it's far fetched, but it's not, you know. Uh, and it's really an exciting time, especially if you've been doing your work, especially if you've been just putting in a little bit of effort, right? You may not have it all figured out. None of us do. You may not have it, all together. None of us do. However, how are you feeling right now in this moment? How are you feeling right now in this space is really all that matters, you know? And are you being kind to yourself? Are you loving yourself? Are you being, are you in a safe environment? Are you um, cherishing who you are? And are you giving gratitude? Are you in this space where you have gained clarity, right? So it's a lot to I don't even want to say a lot to think about, because it's constantly we're constantly creating, but just being in that space and knowing that you have that power is amazing, right? Just being in that frequency and just knowing that you have a spiritual team that's going to support you 100%, that you're going to have divine power that's going to support you 100%, even interject in certain situations that is not panning out for your greater good, right? And it's like this is where the shift come in at. You can be on one path and then tomorrow you can go into the next, because we have that power to do so. But in order to stay there and to be in a space where you're manifesting from intent, where um you're coming from a space of truth, it has to align with who you are, your beliefs. And it doesn't mean that it has to be permanent. You can, again, we change every day. However, who you are today, the decisions that